I am Chris Lewis, your CAW heavyweight champion, undefeated for over a year, and not because of COVID, but because everybody's scared of me. Now you're watching Wrestle Geeks Recap. Like, subscribe, or I'm gonna come down there and slap the stupid off your face.
Welcome everybody to Wrestle Geeks Recaps for Impact Wrestling. We're going to be recapping last week's Impact to get you ready for tonight's, and that would be February 23rd's Impact Wrestling. So I am your co-host, the geek, Trevor Firth, and joining us for my co-host, I have first, the modern day Viking, all the way from the UK, Jay Scriven. As well as joining me from Nova Scotia, Canada, as well. Hooray, more Canadians on the channel. We have Jordan Talbot.
Mr. Cream in your coffee, if you will.
The cream in your coffee, Jordan Talbot. Yes.
Don't make me pull out the Jim Cornette impression. I will.
Oh, God. It's going to come out eventually.
Oh,
There's
yes.
something on the channel. There's going to be something on the episode that's going to make you do it. So how's it been this for both of you guys this week? Lots of good wrestling, or just enough time for Impact?
Just enough time for Impact.
Just enough time for Impact.
Oh man. I can't. I'm watching wrestling constantly right now. There's so much going on. So much good stuff is happening, guys.
Very much.
It's crazy. That completionist part of me can't help it. I feel like I have to watch everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's completely impossible, of course. But So we're going to go into this week's Impact Wrestling. Please like, share, subscribe. We're a very small new channel, so everything helps right now. BTI, Before the Impact. I caught it again this week. It was, it's pretty good. It's efficient for what it is. I enjoyed the match that was on it. It was a fun match. Stupidity. Like I said last week, if it keeps following like these minor storylines for matches, I'm kind of cool with it. They're harmless. And they actually get time. But this week it was Falaba versus Johnny Swinger because of the whole casino debt thing. And so fun little back and forth with this Swingerellas. Is that what they're called? Or is it Swingerellas?
Swingerellas.
Okay. We had the Swingerellas at ringside, and eventually Johnny Swinger wins. He puts his feet up on the ropes to roll up to hold Falaba in place. But Jay, you saw BTI this week, I believe, right?
I did, yeah.
So how do you feel about it? Like the show overall and the match?
I've got to say the show is one of the better pre-shows I've watched in a long time. It really outweighs Explosion by a mile. And I love the fact that it's got the storylines there, but if you missed it, it wouldn't be a big deal. And I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan?
I'm happy they're doing something with, like, they're not just letting Johnny Swinger and Falaba just keep the storyline going on and on and on and on and on. They're actually trying to make it work, whether you like it or not. Because, I find Johnny Swinger entertaining. I love this casino thing he's doing. I know there's some people that are just like, what is the point of this? I don't get the whole thing. And Falaba used to be, this guy, and now he's like got an addiction problem. I've actually seen people right underneath about the whole Falaba storyline that they're actually thinking Impact should be ashamed of themselves for even promoting addiction like this.
What?
Yeah, they're saying that the whole idea, and I think this is just somebody either, I can't tell if they were trying to just be someone trying to get comments for the hell of it or whatever, but they literally were saying like, Impact Wrestling, how dare you try to, addiction to gambling is a serious thing. I've seen people go through horrible things. It's hilarious when you actually, well, not hilarious if people have gone through this horrible thing, but
Of
Yeah.
course not. But like, let them tell the story and watch. There's a chance Falaba might actually deal with this and then actually like come out of this like realizing he has a gambling addiction and because like he's cut off from the casino completely now because he lost a swinger. But I mean, like, we have Hangman Page, who was an alcoholic for a year, and then started getting on the straight and narrow because of Dark Order, and then fell off the bandwagon again.
You've got WWE. Who Vince McMahon tried to fuck his own daughter. How many times? Like,
Oh,
Uh,
exactly. Like, no. This is good storytelling. This is character development. So that
what? Vince tried to fuck his daughter?
no, the other stuff. The other stuff.
God, for a second there, I was like, "Whoa, dude."
I
There's
really enjoy-
Mormons out there going, I don't know. I thought it was a great storyline.
Don't.
you got me up.
Personally, I really enjoy Falaba.
Mm.
Like I've always liked Falaba, and Johnny Swinger, he's good in small doses. The casino is still hit and miss for me, but if it right now it's harmless for the most part.
Swinger looks amazing for his age. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anybody know how old he is?
45.
Oh, wow. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's wow. No, he's great. Look, he looks great. But first match of the night, tables match between Diener and Jake something.
Yes.
So this tables match had a couple little unique elements, like Diener using the sides of the table to smash into Jake on a regular basis. That was really cool. I liked it.
That's awesome.
They had the fake out when the table didn't break. Man, the ending though was pretty telegraphed. Honestly, you knew this was the end as soon as like Jake something was standing next to a table outside the ring, and then Diener ran up the ramp and started running down. You're like, nope, it's done. And then Jake picks him up, black hole slam, boom, right through the table. Jake wins. But great match overall. It was a good table match. Great opening match. But what comes next? We get Moose, who just spears Jake through another table that was set up in the corner of the ring, takes a chair, and goes old school, hijacks the show.
So I gotta say this.
Yeah, go for
about
it.
First of all, what made me love this match first was that this match to me made, in my opinion, a lot of people look at Jake something on TV, because I don't know how many people saw his pay-per-view match with Diener, but
it was really good too.
It was an amazing match. Anybody listening, please give it a check. It's really a good match. But what this match made me constantly say to myself is just how much of a star this guy is, Jake something. Like, I see this guy in like maybe a year. I'm not gonna say by Bound for Glory he's gonna be in the main event. That I just can't see. But in another year, he could be like one of those big main eventers, because he's got a look like the big badass that can brawl and wrestle at the same time. So I'm really like, to me, this was a match that's like, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is a future star right here. And Diener also, hats off to him for putting Jake something over, like, unbelievably well.
Absolutely.
And there were spots in this match that were painful, like you said, the throwing him face first into the edge of a table. I don't care who you are, that is going to cause you to cringe.
And we all know, thank you, Botchamania, I am the table. When the table doesn't break, it hurts so much more.
Oh, yeah.
So much more. But, Jay, how'd you feel about the match and Moose, and maybe even what D'Amore had to tell us after the match?
Oh, I thought the match was really good, especially for an opener. Jake something, really, Diener's gimmick changes also pushed Jake something to the next level.
Yes, it did.
Like you said, I didn't realize how much of a star he was until this match, and he came out and I was like, oh my god, he looks like a beast. And yeah, and then when Scott D'Amore came out and and put the TNA title back into the things. Now, is he doing this because Omega's going to win the championship, the Impact Championship, and they need a title that can be on the TV weekly?
Never even thought of that.
Oh man, no, I like that's the
Never
big
even
thing
thought
being
of that.
thrown around right now.
But I'm very happy they're at least in some way they're giving a secondary title, because I do think that in a wrestling company you got to have your heavyweight title, tag team titles, and your, I guess we could say, the cruiserweight X division title for your smaller guys. But you also need that mid card title underneath the heavyweight title that kind of gives your up and comer guys this rub that needs to move up. That's my opinion on, having maybe another title underneath the heavyweight title.
I agree with you for the most part. Oddly enough, if I could run my own, if I had my own, everything my own way, if I ran my own company, owned everything, money wasn't really an issue, I actually wouldn't go very traditional about it. I don't think like I'd really have well, I like weight classes. I'm old school when it comes to that. I that's one of the aspects of New Japan that I really like. So I'd go for like weight divisions personally. So I'd have like I wouldn't have an intercontinental or a US or whatever. For me, or a Canadian, obviously. But for me, it would be like a heavyweight title, an open weight title, and a cruiserweight title. Like that's, and then tag titles, and no women's title, because in my unimportant opinion, intergender wrestling is the way of the future at this point. Men and women's, like that's why I believe in weight classes, because you should have a woman in the heavyweight division if she meets the heavyweight qualification. You can have her in the open weight division fighting some of the heavyweight guys. That works. But because that's like any cruiserweight fighting a heavyweight in the open weight division. But that's my personal views on it.
I agree. I agree. Gender wrestling is the way forward. I just think right now, at the moment where we are, when a woman's fighting for the world championship, that she's probably going to win it.
I mean, we've only seen it once.
Yeah, Tessa Blanchard. Yeah.
But I expected her to win it. That was watching it. I'm like, well, she's going to win it because she's a woman. Well, I'm not saying it's not the right thing to do.
Oh, no.
It worked, but
I'm just going to say she took a beating for it that night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She took a beating for it every night leading up to it, too. Like, so yeah, reactivating the TNA title, for me, it's really cool. I love the white version of it, personally. The white strap makes that belt look like 10 times prettier.
Yeah.
And it is one of the nicest world titles / heavyweight titles, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. Like, I love that thing's design.
Yeah.
It being reactivated in any way is not really down for me. Like, there's no way that's bad. Now it's not a joke. Now it's not a prop. Now it's time to be taken seriously. It's not the FTW title. Oh, I have so many issues with that. And like, I love AEW, but I am not afraid to tear into them when they do shit that I hate. Same as Impact.
Too scared of Taz to say anything.
But yeah, so D'Amore did declare the match later in the night, Jake Something versus Moose for the main event, telling him, you want a title match? Well, here's your title match. You gotta defend.
Here is something even crazier. And I'm not trying to say I'm smart and I know exactly what Impact was doing. After his match with Diener, I literally said to myself, and I was going to type it to you guys, I said, God, I can't wait for Jake Something to have a match with someone like Moose, another big guy. Just hearing them announce they're having a match, it's like, oh my God, if this goes well for Jake Something, the match here may have made him look like a star. This is going to make him look like a freaking main eventer.
I was we'll talk about the main event a little later on there, and I'll get into my opinions about it when we get to it. But because I did love the match, but we'll get into more detail. Second match of the night, we got the 6-man tag for the X Division #1 contendership, hoop #1. So Trey Miguel, Josh Alexander, and Willie Mack versus Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Black Taurus from Decay. Sorry, what was that, Jordan?
Oh no, I just said that was a mouthful. That whole thing of the X Division #1 contender, who first?
Can I just ask? Did anyone get like hints of Conor McGregor when Trey Miguel came out? Like he was doing his walk and puffing himself up and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
That's
wow, I never even thought of that. That's I saw him walking. I was like, why does this look familiar?
Look at his picture in the graphic. That's what he's doing in the graphic. He's all he's all puffed up.
Why am I now hoping Nate Diaz punches this guy?
Honestly, I'm not a UFC fan. I don't know much. I do know Conor McGregor, so
yeah, that's same as me. I'm not a UFC fan, but Conor McGregor, his promos are hilarious. Like, I hope he ends up in wrestling. Wherever it is, I'll watch it.
Oh, hopefully.
Oh yeah. When it comes to the match itself, everybody got in some great spots, but honestly, I'm kind of getting burnt out on all of the 6-man tag, triple threats, like for the X Division stuff. It's like, yeah, we need a couple singles matches or something maybe, but at least these ones have purpose and they're not just there. Black Taurus for me was probably like the standout. Like Impact put a spotlight on him. But it ends with Bay pinning Willie Mack.
I knew Willie Mack was going to take the pin. It was obvious he was going to take the pin. I was surprised it was Chris Bay who got the pin. I thought it was going to be Ace Austin. But yeah.
I think they're trying to swerve us, making Black Taurus look so awesome in this match, and then having Chris Bay pick up the win, and Ace just being there for this match. They're trying to make it credible that Ace could lose, in my opinion. I don't think he will, but at this point, you never know.
Yeah. It's sad for me watching this match because I was trying to be interested, but it was one of those things where I look at two teams and you look at one side and you're like, that side has good wrestlers, but the other side is like, okay, that team is just too good to not see a 3-way match between them. And it's like, no disrespect to Trey and Willie Mack, two of my favorite wrestlers on Impact. I love those guys, and I've said how many times I'm worried with how they're using Willie Mack.
Yeah.
But if you looked on the other side, who did you have? You had Black Taurus, who's just this awesome looking guy who just is. If there were crowds, he'd be getting huge pops for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Chris Bay, who is just another diamond in the rough that I see so much future potential in, and Ace Austin, who is, in my opinion, the next great heel of Impact.
I completely agree with you.
So it was very hard to try to look at this match and be like, oh, maybe the other team has a chance, because, when you're watching a match, you want to think, okay, what's a match that's really going to look good on paper? And like I said, the other team could have had a good match, all three of them. I'm sure they would. Trey and Willie can always have good matches. And Suicide, was it, on the other team? I just totally drew a blank.
Josh Alexander.
Oh, Josh Alexander. I don't know why I said Suicide. Yeah. Those three guys can all have amazing matches together. Like, they would. Yeah. And also Josh Alexander, huge fan. But on the other side, I'd rather see the three heels, so to speak, have a match, because it's just going to be, in my opinion, a better match.
Agreed. Really the main talking point, like, it's after the match, right? Sammy's back there again waiting for Trey, and he's just like, oh, yep, something was on the line and you couldn't get the job done. And this time Trey's had enough, right?
Yeah, they're helping Trey so much with putting him with Sammy. That's for sure.
Oh, of course. Anybody who works with Sami Callihan, like that means that Impact, they're strapping a rocket to you. The
Yeah.
only person that didn't go through that route recently would be like Ace and Moose, but Moose was there before Sammy. So, man, Moose has been in Impact forever.
Yeah,
How many
couple-
regime changes has he been through?
Oh man, he's been through the bad and the even worse.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh
But,
yeah.
He's been through a bunch.
I'm surprised it's taken this long to make him look a star.
Mm.
Like, even when he was the Impact champion, I was kind of like, oh, who is this guy?
Well, I've been seeing him since Ring of Honor, so
Yeah.
kind of knew his trash record. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy is a star. Maybe it's because he's so young in the business. Maybe it's because some people don't know how long he's gonna stay. But it's like, give the guy credit. He's been loyal with Impact for all this time.
Oh yeah. He gave Impact. He's giving Impact everything he's got.
Yeah.
We got promos after this from Decay, which the Decay promo was great. Rosemary, Crazy Steve laughing in the corner. Rosemary just hyping up Black Taurus for the triple threat match. And yeah, everything it needed to be really good. Impact was great at these creepy horror movie-esque backstage things. They've proven that. It's like between Decay and Violent by Design, they've got two different demographics of horror movie down path.
Plus, anytime you got Rosemary on camera is a good day.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
As I've said a million times, Rosemary is that girl that she will scare the crap out of you, but you will just beg her to say your name.
In
a good way, people. I don't want people commenting going, "Oh, this is a PC era we're living in."
No, this is not PG stuff. This is not a PG channel. We swear. We swear.
Oh,
we say things like we try not to swear too much, but we do. But
I love the. Sorry, carry on.
Go for it, man.
I love the hivelings and the children of the hive. Like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. She played StarCraft back in the day. So after that, we got Havoc and Nevaeh backstage talking. Havoc is trying to convince Nevaeh, like, come on, like, I know you lost against Tenille, but who cares? Like, you're my tag team partner. Nevaeh is just not feeling it. She storms off. Tenille comes out, and she's just like, come on, we should be tag team partners, blah, 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 all this stuff. But really, the only line that matters here is when Caleb looks at her and goes, come on, Havoc with a K. And I couldn't stop laughing. That was so good.
Every time Caleb says something like that, I'm just like, oh my God. No, he's one of those heels that you're supposed to hate, but is so gold on the mic that it's hard to hate him.
Yeah.
Havoc with I actually looked it up. It's like, how does they spell Havoc?
Oh no, yeah, I totally knew she spelt it with a K.
I was like, is it with a C?
It's supposed to be spelled with a C, yeah. Like, I'm curious to see where this little storyline goes, but like, it's just a fun backstage promo. Like, Tenille did good. Everybody's doing good in it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to go between Havoc needing to pick between Nevaeh and Dashwood, and she'll pick Dashwood. Like, at some point down the line, it'll go. She needs to pick someone.
Yeah,
and
she'll pick Dashwood. Way with it.
I want to see them both go into the singles division. Personally, I just want to see Havoc and Nevaeh both go into the singles division.
Yeah.
I feel like Tenille should stay in the tag team division. She just hasn't found the right partner yet, and that should stay her storyline for a little bit. Because it's a good way of introducing new women into the Knockouts division.
Very true.
I really like the idea, like, between me and Jordan, we hatched out the idea for for Brian Myers last week. Like, I like that kind of stuff. Having an option for bringing in new talent quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Match number 3, though, we got a tag team match between the Good Brothers and Triple XL, which Triple XL lost against Decay on BTI. So if it wasn't for Black Taurus having this match, I would instantly be like, already being in a match, sorry. I would instantly just say no to Triple XL fighting Good Brothers. Like, why are you fighting the tag team champions at all? You just lost. You don't deserve a match against them at all, is my opinion. But the match was practically a squash. We had
Yeah, it was.
We had 3 big guys throwing each other around, having some fun at some point, and it was fun to watch. That's all that really matters. Jay, how did you feel about the match itself?
Yeah, it was good. It was one of those you could tell who was winning, and also gave the announcers the chance to hype up New Japan, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those matches where I just thought, oh, yeah, we did.
Oh, I skipped that. You could have said that out loud, man. It's all good. I wouldn't even have edited it out. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I have it written down right here. I just skipped it with my eyes.
Just be quick with this.
We'll finish this part and then we'll go to it.
But always good seeing the Good Brothers do their thing. I'm just not a big fan of Triple XL for some reason. I really think these two guys should be on their own. It's just I just can't get involved in that whole. I don't know. It's something about this team, not the wrestlers. I think both guys could be great singles wrestlers, but it's just as a team, it just does not make sense to me.
See, I disagree. I think they need to stay as a tag team for a while. I think you split them up and they just get lost in the roster. I can't see them doing anything individually. I think at the moment, keep them as a team.
It is the curse of Impact with the like we were saying earlier, only having the X division as the other thing guys can do.
Yeah,
and it's like if you're not in the X division, but you're not in the main event scene, they don't really know what to do with you.
Yeah.
So hopefully there'll be a situation for that soon. But I think they should stay a tag team. Personally, like I like the 2 big guys as a tag team, and it's not done enough. And I mean, AC can move. So
yeah.
Well, that's why I think if he was on his own, he'd do unbelievable. And I think I'm drawing a blank on the other guy's name. Jesus,
Larry D.
Larry D. I think he could make one. I don't know why, but I always look at him. I see him like as the the guy who just brawls anybody and fights anybody.
Yeah, that's totally his thing.
But yeah, AC, I'm a huge fan of him. And if anybody ever watches highlights of him, you will be shocked of how this guy can literally fly. And I don't even know how much he weighs, but he's unbelievable in the ring, like in singles matches.
Yeah. We get the little promo backstage. We'll go to the AEW ad after this because we skipped the AEW ad. But we get Finjuice waiting backstage for the Good Brothers after this, of course. And like, oh, you got some beer skis ready for us, boys, and all this stuff. And then they start talking up, like Finjuice starts talking up the Good Brothers. You guys are the absolute best, greatest tag team in the world, hands down. Hungover. And I'm like, that was so good. Like, that was great. And looking, Anderson's like, I'm not hungover. And Gallows like, I'm a little hungover.
Yeah. That's why I love the Good Brothers. Their humor is just, it's really what you would expect people to say. Not the whole, we're not, how dare you, man? We're going to fight right now. It's like, oh, come on, no.
No, man. Impact is, if WWE is still WWE, obviously, but if AEW gets compared to WCW all the time, then Impact is ECW at this point.
Yeah.
And it's actually doing a good job at standing out as that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As that third option.
Yeah. The big thing I like about well, first of all, the promo was awesome. And I think they're using Finjuice properly in this. And the reason I say properly is because I'm going to change to a company that is going through some crap right now. But Ring of Honor, when their relationship with New Japan, they kind of became way too reliant on New Japan wrestlers to the point where Ring of Honor almost felt like secondary to New Japan. And it's a fact, when New Japan guys came in, you were more interested than Ring of Honor guys. I mean, there were some Ring of Honor guys good, but it seemed like management was just saying like, okay, we're going to bring in all these New Japan guys because that's what fans want to see. And, that's going to help our business. Meanwhile, you're not helping yourself.
Yeah. Not to cut you off, but also like you have the CMLL deal in there too, because like Bandito came in and boom, how long did it take before he became TV champ? You have Roosh that came in, how long before he became the world champ?
Yeah.
Like, or at least in the main event scene, guaranteed he was in there pretty quick. So yeah.
So I'm happy that they're not being too reliant with this deal, but they're being, respectful with the guys they're using, and they're actually using them properly.
Yeah. I like I said, I like the idea of other people from other companies coming to Impact, and all the big tag teams from all the biggest promotions keep coming to Impact and keep losing to the Good Brothers. Like that's what I like.
Yeah.
If that keeps happening, that's cool. I'm all for it. Jay, how did you feel about the Finjuice promo? And if you have nothing to add, then go into the AEW promo.
I thought the promo was very funny. Like Doc Gallows, it's just hilarious. Like that. I'm a little hungover. I laughed so much.
Yeah.
And then we got the AEW promo, which to me was the first one I didn't enjoy.
Wow.
I kind of agree.
I don't think they need the rest of the stars. I think Tony Khan kills it on his own. He's progressed so much as a character, and it's different. He's come out like honestly, his first one he was very shy. Now he's very like, I laugh at him, but just I felt like it was very disrespectful from all the AEW stars just putting down Impact Wrestling. Now I understand they're setting that up, but it was just too much of a, Tony Khan can do it. But I don't need to get everyone else involved to put them down. I think it makes it, I don't know, just in my eyes, it was just a bit that.
I completely agree with you. Before I let loose on my little rant, Jordan?
I'm feeling really bad because I'm like the odd man out because I actually liked it. I liked the whole promo. And here's my reason. Here's the thing I like. First of all, I completely agree with you, Jay, that Tony Khan should be him and Tony Schiavone, because I've said it a million times, Tony Khan, when I see the AEW ad coming up, I'm excited because, man, Tony Khan's so good at playing the guy who's just like, I am giving you guys something. The pleasure of being
Forbidden Door.
Yeah, it's just like such an awesome little, like, I am going to literally slap you guys in the face and you are going to enjoy it because I'm giving you guys this awesome paid prescription. But the reason I did like some of the wrestlers being there was, I guess in my mind, I'm looking at this from, well, if they keep sending AEW guys down there, they could be, maybe introducing some of the guys that maybe some of the Impact Wrestling fans who may not watch AEW as much, or I really don't think that's possible. I'm sure a lot of people do watch AEW as much as Impact. But, a lot of the guys there, I kind of found it like, I wish they kind of did keep just Brian Cage there, because I thought that was pretty much a big, slap in the face of being like, yeah, I did wrestle there for a while. I was their world champion, but, it doesn't really matter. I'm now here.
I was the last time the world championship was relevant.
That was that's my rant, boys.
Yeah, that thing there. But I did like, that they had some of those guys in the background that maybe AEW fans may not really be, like some of them they do know, but maybe some of them they're like, oh yeah, that guy, he could be good. But I liked it. I'll just say that. And
That's
cue
fine,
the
man.
rant. And cue the rant. Ready for it.
So, first of all, Britt Baker, bring it. Deanna make you tap. I mean, like, I'd love to see that match. I think it would be incredible, but Deanna's going to make you tap.
Yep.
That I truly believe. Ryan Nemeth, you're a nobody.
Oh.
Like, pure, you are literally a nobody. You don't even get an entrance, man. He's got no right saying anything about any Impact talent. And Brian Cage.
Oh,
Dude.
here we go.
Dude, the last time the Impact Wrestling title was relevant was when you held it. You mean when you Brock Lesnar it because you were injured and nobody bothered to strip you of it? No, man. Like that was my like Brian Cage saying that was my tipping point on that one. I was like, everybody else is just like whatever. They're just whatever. I didn't enjoy it, but I was like, I get what they're doing and it works, I suppose. But when Brian Cage let go of that line, I'm just like, dude, Sami Callihan took that belt from you and goddamn saved Impact. And then after that, we had Tessa. You're going to tell me that your run was more relevant than Tessa winning the title? Screw that, man. Like, I love Brian Cage as an in-ring performer, but like, nah, man. No. That's a ballsy claim, and you cannot back it up.
To diffuse the situation, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to turn to our guest commentator for today. Jim Cornette, what did you think about the promo that they had? Well, first of all, I don't know why I'm talking to a guy from England and a guy from Canada. We all know the best wrestlers come from America or from Mars because, I'm right about everything I say. Now, first of all, to the Canadian guy named Trevor Filth, whatever his last name is.
That's exactly what you called me, right?
I don't know what the hell you're getting all mad. The belt was relevant under Brian Cage. I mean, it was so relevant that, you're irrelevant for thinking it was not relevant. And to the UK guy, that if you see a picture of him, I really blink my eyes sometimes because I think it's Redwood from the Y family. I forgot what the hell you even said because I made Smoke About Wrestling. I made TNA look good. I made my bid this morning. And that was Jim Cornette with, I don't even know what the hell he was saying.
Oh, man. That's going to be that's going to be a bit. It's going to be a weekly bit at this point, isn't it?
I can only do it for so long. My throat gets sore. I was also, just to tell you, Jay, I was thinking in my head, oh, God. I hope to God he does not kill me.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, a lot of people said what they had to say about it, too. Like, Tommy Dreamer was vocal and whatnot. And it is what it is. It happened. And
what did Tommy Dreamer say?
Wrestling Promo 101. Learn how to put people over, even when you're insulting them. That way, when you beat them, you don't look like you beat a nobody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's
when you do nothing but drag your opponent's name through the mud, you're not even building yourself up.
Yeah.
I think the only one who didn't insult Impact Wrestling was Matt Hardy. And like I don't know, just the whole thing to me. Yeah,
to me, the people I didn't mention were not relevant enough at that point to bring up on my rant. No, Matt Hardy was fine, and like, the rest were okay, weren't that bad.
Yeah, it was just a very, I don't know. I felt like it was just a big insult to Impact Wrestling, and I can see where they're going storyline driven, but you just made them look shit, and that's not okay.
Jordan, what'd you think of the Swinger Casino segment this week?
I loved any time I get to see the Swinger Casino. I know a lot of people are always going on about it, but I don't know what it is about the Swinger Casino. It's just fun.
I mean, look, it's hit or miss for me. There's weeks where it's good, weeks where it's bad. Falaba was not there after losing the match, so I enjoyed that. Johnny Swinger looked like he was in an extra happy mood after winning his match. So, again, I enjoyed that. But, setting up, like, overall, it was just used to set up a match between Rohit and James Storm.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, again, on BTI.
I love that Rohit came in with the old school style bandage head.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I loved that. I was
so
like, oh,
stupid.
that was adorable.
He looks so stupid in the best way. Was Shira even there? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
there.
Okay. He didn't say anything. He's just Shira. He just stands there. I'm sorry. Like, Mahabali Shira they need to figure something out to make that guy stand out to me.
Yeah.
Because he has the build and he has the ability. There's got to be something.
Get him dancing again.
Dance. Yeah, they made him dance. There it is.
Maybe it'll be that. Who knows?
Oh god, the dance you just did wasn't even close to the dance. Ladies and
I'm so
gentlemen,
glad they can't see me.
The way he just danced, it was just like if you play country music and this guy thinks he's at a rave.
Oh my god. Anything to add, Jack?
I want someone to write underneath. You know, that did happen once.
Oh my god.
Fingers Palace to me, James Storm and Saban have made it. I never enjoyed. Well, it's not I didn't enjoy it. It was just kind of like, okay, this is just a time consumer. But Storm and Saban in it has really pushed. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, those two are having fun. I think that's the best part about. That's why I like it the most. Is that they're having fun doing it.
Yeah. Well, like, James Storm's not on contract either.
Yeah. Like, it's not one of those segments where it's like you just threw them in there because we need someone challenging for the 24/7 championship. We put them in there because, you know, it looks like you guys are actually having fun.
True. But yeah, like James Storm as well, like, come on. James Storm's just, like, he's not under contract. We know for a fact he's going to go around and just do whatever he wants and have a lot of fun while doing it.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Under contract. Like, I think having James Storm there is very good. I like Storm. I've always have.
Yeah.
And I think they get him under contract soon, and we don't see him back up in NXT or whatever.
Everything else he's tried just hasn't really worked for him. Even like teaming up in NWA, being the champion with Eli Drake, they were such a weird pairing. Like, it just didn't work for me.
I don't think he can go into a proper tag team again after Beer Money. Truthfully, I think
agree.
He was Beer Money, incredible, you know, and he was with what was it, Americans Most Wanted before, and that was incredible. And I just think this guy needs a single run. It's hilarious with Saban at the moment, but the moment Shelley's back, split them back up.
Agreed.
What I've read is like 3 or 4 matches away from having 1,000 Impact matches.
Oh my god!
Wow.
So, you know, give maybe not. I don't want to say world title shot, but maybe the TNA title, get him as the TNA champion or something.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next match, we're supposed to have Brian Myers versus Eddie Edwards. We're supposed to finally get that. Basically, is the idea, but Myers reveals his new attorney, Mark Sterling, which, you know, he was on AEW for MJF, but
really,
I mean,
I never even realized that.
Oh yeah, he was the lawyer when MJF and Moxley were doing.
I was watching and I was like, this guy looks really familiar.
If you watch any of their YouTube content, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, he's Smart Mark Sterling. He's their third man.
Oh, nice.
He's the guy who like runs everything for them while they're talking, and he interjects. But no, Mark Sterling's great. I really like him, and he is actually ring trained.
Oh.
Yes, he is actually trained. I think he was trained. I'm not sure if he was trained by Myers, but I think he was. But anyway, he reveals that Brian Myers cannot compete, but as per the contract, he can be replaced. So Hernandez comes out. Yeah. And it's a really quick match overall, but Eddie wins with a Boston Knee Party. And like this is the second week in a row where Hernandez loses, right? Like he lost against Cardona in a one-on-one. He lost against Eddie Edwards in a one-on-one. This is their opportunity to for Myers to like fire Hernandez and get somebody new, right? Hopefully they do that.
Still gonna hire someone who he keeps losing, yeah? Like,
well, yeah, it's a waste of money. So hire somebody better. Hire somebody different. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna comment because everybody knows how I feel about Hernandez.
The match was not very good. It's a skippable match, honestly. It's not that it was bad. Like neither guy screwed anything up. It was boring.
It's very sad because I love Eddie Edwards and I think he's just an amazing wrestler. But as I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm just done with Hernandez on Impact. It's just not interesting to me anymore.
Yeah, he'd be better served somewhere else at the moment.
Yeah.
But after the match, we get Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, and Scott D'Amore all in the same room. And D'Amore reveals that like the contract says it has to be one of their doctors that clears Myers. And this whole time, you can clearly see like Myers is totally doing it on purpose so that the camera can see his eye that's under the eye patch, that it's blinking and that it's fine. And I love how he's going out of his way to make sure the camera can see that he's fine, right? Yeah. And then Scott D'Amore is like, we're gonna have an eye for an eye match. You versus Eddie Edwards. Matt Cardona's a special guest referee. And then when Myers is like, are you serious about the eye for an eye part? I was like, no. That's so stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What are you gonna do? Poke the guy's eye out and then he'll be fine in a few weeks? It's like, God, that's stupid. And he just walks away. I loved it. I loved it.
God, that. And all right, it's my turn to rant on something now.
Oh, okay, go for it.
And if anyone could do a Vince Russo impression, that would be awesome. but yes, when he said that whole thing about the eye for an eye thing, like I know wrestling, everybody has that thing of suspension of disbelief for wrestling, but really? You lost your eye, and a week later, you're pretty much like, I got my eye back. It's all good.
They definitely, to steal an expression, they took the piss out of WWE in that one, man.
But my God. I'm very interested to see what they do. I don't know if they're gonna make Matt Cardona team with Brian Myers. Maybe he'll turn heel. I don't see that happening.
He never does.
That could not happen. But I'm interested. They have me interested, at least a lot more than Eddie Edwards taking on Hernandez.
True. Jay?
Best part of the whole show for me, honestly, just I love the way they really dug at WWE with that, and just it was hilarious. I was a little worried they were actually going to do an eye for an eye match. I was like, oh no, please don't be doing this. And then you said Vince Russo, it would be an eye on a pole match, wouldn't it, if it was Vince Russo?
Well, let's ask Vince Russo. Vince, how much that match be?
No. We're not doing a Vince Russo expression on top of it. We get one. You get one.
Thank God. You do not want. I don't want to offend New York. I love the Knicks.
Yeah, no, like D'Amore walking down the hallway, still ranting as the door was closing. Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
Next, we get the Knockouts Tag Team #1 contendership. Jordan Grace and Jazz versus Susan and Kimberly. The match is fairly straightforward and kind of exactly what we've seen before. After some distractions from Deanna though, and ODB getting involved with Deanna, they both got ejected, which lets Jordan Grace take advantage and hit the Grace driver on Kimberly for the win, making Jordan Grace and Kimberly the #1 contenders for Fire and Flava. But when they get backstage after the match, we see that ODB was taken out, and they instantly think it was Deanna. Commentary, like I forget which one it is. I think it was Matt Stryker was like, "Oh, that had to be Deanna Purrazzo," and D'Lo Brown was like, "Well, you never know, man. Like we don't know. Nobody was back there. Nobody saw anything. Like we can't. You can't just say that. You can't just say it's her. You could say you think it's her, but you can't just say it's her." Which I'm like, D'Lo's right. He's
Yeah. That was a
but
nice idea.
yeah, D'Lo's finding his way on commentary. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna take time. Definitely gonna take time.
Yeah.
But Jay, what do you think of the match? And what do you think of like Jordan Grace and Jazz being number one contenders?
I like Jordan Grace and Jazz. I think they're a good tag team.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of Susan. Like
I hate her.
the character's dull and boring. She looks like she's on crack as well when she's doing a promo. She's at the back. It's like what going on? Like, I don't know. I like Sue Young. Bring the Sue Young character back. It was much better.
I do love how if you check the Impact roster on their website, it actually has all three of them as individual people.
Oh wow.
It has Susan, Susie, and Sue Young. I'm like, that's clever. I like that. It also has Manic and TJP, and both of them have the X Division title in their picture.
Nice.
I'm like, oh man, Impact is like trolling themselves with this one. It's great.
That's how you fill a roster.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, with ODB,
Yeah,
I don't think it was Deanna Purrazzo. I'm hoping it's Eric Young because those two are married.
I kind of like, I find it's terrible, but like when I know that when a couple are on the same program, I can't help it. I want them to gravitate together in some way because I'm like, no, if I was a wrestler, my wife was a wrestler, we were working for the same promotion, like, damn, freaking straight we'd be in the same faction.
Yeah.
Are they actually married together?
I don't know if they're actually married in real life, but like that was the Impact storyline. They were always married, and they never like. I'm pretty sure they dated at some point, but I don't know if they're ever actually really together.
I think they could have even just had a skip, like when ODB turned up, and Eric Young could have been like, "Well, why aren't you with me? You're my wife," or whatever.
Something would have been cool.
Just a little nod, and I would have been okay. But yeah.
I want to see integration between women's and men's divisions and stop making them so separate from each other. I do agree. Like they could be separate divisions with separate titles, but that doesn't mean the characters can't cross over and talk to each other and have situations. Like Impact does a decent job of that.
Yeah.
Usually, Fire and Flava have interactions with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that personally. Next step is to have a woman on a faction.
Yeah. They have to.
Well, I think TNA, the women's revolution, which WWE claimed to have started, it definitely started with Gail Kim in TNA. Absolutely. I remember watching a match, and it was a ladder match. It was Gail Kim versus, I can't remember who she was versus, but it was one of the best matches I've ever seen. Like, honestly, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You had Gail Kim, Mickie James, Awesome Kong, Velvet Sky, Madison Rain, all at the same time. Angelina Love, all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, no. And, like, Women's Revolution started there. Absolutely. Started an Impact.
Unbelievable. So for me about this match, I'm happy Jazz and Jordan won. I definitely saw them as the rightful team that should win. They just, it just seemed like better for them to win. I mean, it made no sense for Kimberly and Susan to win the match. And, before I had said how much I was enjoying the Susan character, but you're right, it has kind of become
instantly, right?
A little stale. But so I still have nothing but faith. I always believe that, you could take a character and hopefully make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it is a point where you just go, okay, this character is not working. Let's just get rid of it and bring it back as Sue Young. Because I completely agree with you, Jay, that Sue Young is just awesome. Like, one of the greatest things I ever saw was her in a match where she called someone out, and the lights went off. The lights came back on, and she had blood dripping down on her, and she was just like looking at her opponent, just staring at her. It's like just an unbelievable visual, and it's just one of those things that I love about Su Yung as a character and as a wrestler. And
So
Kimberly, I still believe, is going to be a big star.
yes. Favorite Su Yung match then, Jordan?
My favorite Su Yung match, I would have to say I loved her match with Ali.
Okay.
For the
No, I agree. It was really, really good. Jay, you were going to say something, but I want to ask you the same question.
Rosemary. One of the matches with Rosemary was really. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a really good
There's
match.
a few.
Yeah. What I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, we've got no fans, and we can kind of do what we want. Not like Ethan Page, but have Susan versus Su Yung versus
Susie.
Oh my god!
Susie.
Yeah, the cinematic.
Yes.
In the ring. You could do that right now, and the winner gets to be the one that the persona that comes out as the
god!
thing.
That is actually
Yes. Yes.
you know,
Yes.
you could have body doubles, and I'm sure they could pull it off with camera angles and everything. That's how they should end.
Yeah, that is. I love that idea so much.
So I just want to say my favorite Su Yung moment, my favorite Su Yung match, is when I watched her and Jessica Havoc face each other in Kaiju Pro Wrestling, I think is what it's called. There's a bunch of cardboard buildings and shit in the ring, and they're cannonballing through it, and like they're kaiju monsters fighting in a. The ring is a city. It was absolutely amazing. Please check it out. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan.
Just finish this off. I do hope they are going to do something with ODB and Eric Young, because I think that would be awesome, and I really would love to see her in Violent by Design, just to see how her character would evolve from that, because I really don't think she's ever been a heel. I really can't say she's ever been a heel, ever.
I think she was heelish back in TNA back before she was Eric Young. I think she was a bit heel.
Maybe.
Yeah, she was heel before all that, because she definitely has the personality of a heel. Or she could very easily have the personality of a heel. But now we get to the main event.
Yeah.
TNA heavyweight or world, sorry, it's a world title. Sorry. TNA world title match, which saying that in 2021 feels pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Moose versus Jake something. And this match was just pure badassness. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yes, it was. Yep.
Moose focuses on the lower body for the most part because of all the table stuff from earlier for Jake something. And originally, I was thinking like, man, why'd they do this match tonight? Like, I totally would have waited a week to see this. But by having Jake something in the tables match earlier in the night and having him lose against Moose now, he still looks crazy strong.
Yeah.
He still looks like $1 million coming out of this episode.
Yeah, and they actually put a spotlight on him when he attacks Moose at the beginning. And they literally
put the spotlight I loved that so much.
Yeah.
Like they didn't do the classic thing where Jake something, Moose comes out and then Jake something walks to the ring, holding his ribs, still injured. Instead, they just had Jake something be like, "Fuck you, Moose. You really think I'm gonna wait? No, I'm gonna kick your ass right now."
Yeah, it was great. That was good. Like Moose picks up the match after like a couple really big moves. Like he ends it with the spear, but he has to hit a couple really big moves before the spear to put down Jake, and that again makes Jake look crazy strong. But personally, I hated when Rich Swann came out to make the save after the match. I felt like Moose the show should have ended with Moose taking the chair, hitting Jake once or twice, and then kicking him out of the ring, setting the chair back up, and sitting down and just staring at the camera, going, "I'm waiting, Rich."
Yep.
That should have
completely agree.
Off air. That's how it should have ended. We didn't need to have D'Amore setting up the match at Sacrifice and blah blah blah. That could have happened at the beginning of next week, or that could even give BTI more of a reason and announce it on BTI next week, or tonight. Sorry, from when this goes up. You know what I mean? Like, it's the little things. But they're moving in the right direction.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't know what's gonna happen, guys, when it comes to like Moose, Rich Swann, Kenny Omega. I have no idea anymore. I have no idea what's gonna happen, and I'm just on board. Cool. Yep. Strap me in. Let's see where this roller coaster goes.
Yeah.
If they do a champion versus champion, Moose versus Swan, I hope they keep the TNA design but put Impact on it. Like we were saying about the belt earlier, there is no belt in wrestling, in my opinion, as nice as that at the moment.
It's in my top. It's in my top belts, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think when Moose brought it back with the white strap, I was just like, oh my god. Yeah. This just went from like the 9th, 10th on my list to like the 5th or 6th. Like, gorgeous belt.
Yeah. So the match, I completely agree, was awesome. And as I said before, it made Jake something look like a future megastar, because he really hanged in there with Moose. And that's hard to do because, Moose is being so big and so agile and so strong. It's hard to have a good knockdown, drag him out match with the guy and really make it interesting. But I was just like you, pissed when Rich Swann showed up, because I was like, so this pretty much just made all that Jake something what happened to him and Moose getting that win, holding that title, you just pretty much sucked the life out of it so that Rich Swann can come in and attack. Because one, it makes Rich Swann look cheap as hell, in my opinion, for attacking a guy after the match. Because, I think if they had done that, he should have
made the save. He made a save. He didn't attack Moose after the match. Moose was going to hit Jake something with a chair, so Swann was being the baby face.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So I'll rephrase that. The save. But the way I'm looking at it is just, you've made, let Moose do this so that you've got Moose looking like a legitimate, even more of a legitimate badass, and make him scary. Like, oh my God, Rich Swann has to fight him? Instead, you got Rich Swann come out and, do the hero thing that we've seen a million times.
Yep.
Which, if you see it a million times, guess what? It's not as interesting as the first time you ever seen it, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's no.
But,
how many times has Swann saved someone from Moose as well?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Or Omega.
It's not. Yeah.
It's always
not just
making the save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, that the way you described it, Trevor, the way it should have ended, it would have done so much, because it would have been like, oh man, this guy Rich has to fight this guy, and he's looking like pissed off, and he's ready to kill somebody for that title. And it's like, next week you could have had Rich Swann just cut the promo being like, I know what I'm in for.
Jay, I don't know about you, but most people I've talked to don't even relate. They're like, oh yeah, you're right. Rich Swann did save it. Just did slide in at the end of that match. Like, the match was so good that people just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that from more of your friends, Jay, or like if other people that watch Impact that you talk to. But,
I agree with both of you. It was pointless having him running. It's made him look weak. Oh, he's not here. He's injured, and then he runs out again to save someone who he has no loyalties to. Like, let's face it, he doesn't have any loyalties to. Like, where's it? Is he going to get involved with Violent by Design and Jake something now? Because that I don't know.
Yeah.
Before we end this one, here's the thing. The reason I hate those. The hero comes out of nowhere to save the day. That kind of thing. And Trevor, could you recap when he's doing the beating? Does he hit him with the chair already, or is he doing it again, or was he about to do it? I
He was
can't
about
remember.
to-
He was about to hit him with the chair. He didn't even get the chair shot in.
Wasn't he
Yeah.
going to put it on his ankle and try and break his ankle or something?
Yeah, that could be it. You're right. Like honestly, the match was so good and I hated Swan making the save at the end so much that
Yeah.
like I struggled to remember the details.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, you were
thing
right though. He's gonna break the ankle with the chair.
yeah.
I think you're
The thing
right.
I hate about running out to save the guy is that it takes all, as we've said 100 times, and last time I'll
Yeah.
say, I swear, it takes all the focus out of the guy that just took Moose to the limit.
Yeah, it took the shine off both of them. So I'm pretty sure we've said everything we have to say about that one. Overall, though, this episode of Impact like flew by for me.
Yeah.
Such a well-paced, well-timed episode. I really liked it. Had a lot of fun. I think Impact was on a great trajectory overall. The decision to drop Explosion for BTI, because there was no episode of Explosion. I checked on the app and whatnot. I didn't find any. So it seems like they're dropping Explosion for BTI, and it could pay off. It could be a good decision in the long run. And BTI still has room to grow as well. There's plenty they can do with that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're setting up storylines for BTI on Impact, and the Impact stories are on BTI. It just works really well. Just merges both shows very well.
Yeah. It's not a throwaway thing where it's like, oh, guys, if you watch this, we have this random match that, you can give two shits about. Instead, they're actually saying, hey, watch BTI because we got this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go into the making in Impact segment, our closing segment for the episode. So in this segment, we just each choose somebody that is... the criteria was currently active, but really the criteria is going to be anybody who could realistically wrestle. So if somebody
Thanks for that.
like Tyson Kidd is completely out because Tyson Kidd is injured and will unfortunately never wrestle again because of his injury. Like as far as we know, anybody that we know is on the shelf permanently is off the record. It's like not available. That goes for people who are crazy old and should never wrestle again because that's just cruel. But Jay, who is your pick, man?
And ladies and gentlemen, I am so pumped to hear this. He was hyping it up. So I'm very excited.
I'm going to start. Slammiversary. Ken Shamrock comes out, says, Sammy Callahan got in my head. I'm the baddest man in the world. I've done everything I can. I'm going to retire. Out comes Moose, beats the shit out of Shamrock. Absolutely beats the shit out of him.
Nice,
and then out comes The Rock to make the save.
Yeah.
I told you I was going extreme. I love it.
Oh my
Out
God.
comes The Rock to make the save.
I just popped for nothing.
Setting up the match for Moose versus The Rock at Bound for Glory.
Oh my God.
But you have in I Quit Impact match, and you have The Rock lose to Moose. That's my pick.
You know what?
A match that I know is never going to happen. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It would never happen, but I'm in and I'm totally fantasy booking this on something.
I was totally, honestly, when I was taking my pick for this week, I was like, this is just never going to happen. Like, The Rock's never going to. Like, I know we did the Hall of Fame introduction for Shamrock, which, but I just think that there would bring so many eyes to Impact, and
I'll have some crazy pick at some point, I'm sure. My pick is, you're gonna like this one, Jay. If you've heard of him, I hope you have. He's currently in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's currently a young lion. But he comes from your end, Gabriel Kidd.
Ooh, nice pick. Nice.
Yeah, when he's ready for Excursion, send him to Impact. I think it's a great, because he's already got all that UK experience, so there's no point sending him back to the UK, which I'm sure he would love to go back for a little while and do some stuff home now that he's been to Japan. Don't get me wrong, but that's not like a permanent gig kind of thing, in my opinion. He could totally do that in between. And like in Impact is tapings. He could fly to Impact tapings and then go back home to the UK and do indie shows in the UK very easily. Well, very easily. You know what I mean when things get a little bit more normalized. But we are seeing now some international travel happening in the promotions. Like Shida is currently in Japan, and she's coming back for the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see. But that's who I want, Gabriel Kidd. And I don't really even have a story for him because, like, Young Lion on Excursion, like, that is his story. You know what I mean? Like, that, find yourself, dude. Because I've seen him do some incredible things, and such a fan of this kid. I can't wait for in 10 years where I can be like, I watched him since day one. Like, I really can't wait for that.
Could be good.
You'd have to put him against Sammy Callahan, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'd love to see him go up against Callahan, but then when Callahan starts getting in his face and trying to get in his head, he just turns around, just slaps Callahan like right in the face, and be like, "Who do you think you are? Like, I've been to Japan, man. Like, let's go." Yeah. I just, like, don't back down against Callahan. I want to see him get right in Callahan's face.
Yeah.
And then Callahan, of course, beats the shit out of him.
Yep.
But Jordan, who's your pick for this week?
So I'm gonna go local with this one, and I'm gonna go different. I'm not gonna pick someone who is a wrestler on here or a retired retired wrestler. I'm actually gonna go different. I'm gonna pick one of my, and I'm being biased when I say it, because he's one of my closest friends in the world. I'm going with a ring announcer, and his name is Dave Nyquist.
Voice of the Maritimes, Dave Nyquist.
He is by far, first of all, he brought me back into maritime wrestling, like independent wrestling, to watch it. And he is one of the best announcers in the business, in my opinion. And like I said, being biased about it, but he has announced not just local guys, but big names like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. He announced an NWA World Title match between
Nick Aldis versus Marcus Burke
and Marcus Burke.
I was in the crowd for that night. Yeah, that was incredible.
He has announced, for some really awesome like matches. And the great thing he does, and this is not a knock on anybody who is an announcer. Like, anybody who is an announcer, good for you for doing that, man. I know your voices must go so sore at the end of the night for shouting so much.
Yeah.
But I hate when announcers do, like, when they introduce somebody, they're like, and hailing from this is like,
unless you're the Bruce Buffer, you can't do that. Yeah. Don't do it. Like, just don't do it.
My philosophy for ring announcing is I want to get I want to be pumped for the match, but then when I hear this guy's name announced, I want to get even more pumped for the match.
I admit, like, Japan has some great ring announcing for that reason. Because, there's a guy in New Japan Strong. He just uses his initials, DKC, but the ring announcer, the DKC, like, super intense into it and just screams the letters, and I'm like, yeah. But no, Dave. Okay, Nyquist, like, I've taken time because, like, before I started booking, I was toying with the ring announcing was what I was aiming for, to be honest, and the opportunity to book presented itself, so I just jumped on that. But I was looking at ring announcing originally, and no, he took the time to talk to me about it, about his experiences after a show. I talked to him on Facebook afterwards, messaging with him back and forth. Like, he's an amazing guy.
And if I was going to use him in Impact, I guess since we're talking about how we would use somebody, the way I'd use him, I wouldn't put him right on Impact because I think David Penzer is still the announcer there, and he's still, in my opinion, one of the absolute greatest ever. I always love his intro. But I'd say put Nyquist on BTI, let him grow on there, Let him
Yeah.
like, let the audience really get used to seeing this guy and let him get confident with the talent from Impact so that when you do bring him into Impact, it won't feel, who the hell is this random guy? It's like, oh no, we've seen this guy. He's good.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see on BTI? Just bringing this up randomly. No, not who, what.
Oh, well.
So they have like 15-minute matches right now, right? The last two matches we saw were like 10, 15 minutes. Cut it down a little bit, cut it down a little bit of content. Give us a second match earlier in the night. Just be like Joe Dorian squash matches.
Yeah.
And bring in all fresh faces to fight him. Because that's the one downside of losing Explosion, is they do lose that aspect of bringing in new talent and testing new talent out. But yeah, no, you could, that way you have two matches for NightQuest to announce as well. So there you go. No, that'd be really cool, man. You just blew my mind, because I'll be honest, I didn't even consider, like, I thought like ringside manager, sure, but I never considered anything else other than like a wrestler. When it came to this, that's really cool.
Well, when Jay names The Rock, I gotta try to throw something out there, man. Like,
hey man, have you guys been watching Young Rock?
No.
oh, I love it. I love that.
It's really funny. It's really funny. The premise is that he's going for president of the United States, and he's in like 2032 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's doing like tours, and he's doing a tell-all interview about his life before the elections. And I'm like, this is hilarious, because this is what's going to happen in real life.
In real life,
it
if
for
he
kids
wanted to
or,
run for
like-
president, he would never have to do any of that. We'd vote for him anyway.
Everybody would vote for him.
Yeah.
His opponents would probably be like, "Oh, I'm voting for The Rock."
Yeah,
He's like,
everyone.
Are you gonna bottom are you just gonna hit me with rock bottom if I win?
Maybe. You know how many
drop out.
countries would be so excited to talk to America?
Yeah, no. So guys, anything else to say before we go off?
Just before that, just to talk about Young Rock one more time is one of the best scenes I ever saw, because it's so true to life. If you ever say it, Lil Rock, well, his dad, Rocky Johnson, all the wrestlers are there, and they're talking, and Lil Rocky just looks up and goes, "Oh, wrestling, it's all fake." And
Oh my
every
God.
wrestler looks at him, and it's great because if you have worked in the business, you don't use
the F
say.
word.
Because I've seen people go, "Oh, it's cool. I mean, it's fake and everything," and I just looked at the person like, "No."
No.
I don't even work in the industry, and people say it's fake. I'm like, it's not fake. Like, it's not fake.
You know what I answer when people say wrestling is fake? Like, why do you like it? Wrestling is fake. I'm like, do you enjoy Game of Thrones?
There, yeah.
I'm like, wrestling is more real than Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
I love the dragons too. It's cool. Do you like Marvel movies? I like Iron Man. Iron Man's badass. Guess what? Wrestling is more real than that. Like, who cares? It's entertainment.
What does the Young Rock stream on?
I'm not even sure. Peacock? Is that it? I don't know.
I think
I just like, I'm like, PVR, Young Rock, record. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I just
I
asked
never
my
looked it
PPR
up.
to take care of it. So we're gonna leave everybody there for this week, and have a good time. Have a good week, everybody. Please
Have a
like,
good
share,
week.
subscribe, leave comments below about your favorite part of Impact for this week, or who you would pick for making an impact, or what you thought about The Rock as a pick for making an impact. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Yep.